And we're live. Hello, my friends. Today is an exciting day. This is the first ever interview of the beginning of a new series that I'm beginning on my channel. Woo! It's I'm going to be interviewing Outschool teachers and we're going to meet them. We're going to find out their wisdom, find out their experience, and so everybody, welcome Kasey.
Hi everyone. Yay.
Yeah, I want to for sure shout out Kasey's YouTube channel, Kasey's podcast, and Kasey's website. So Kasey's YouTube channel is
ESL with a Gypsy Soul.
Very good. And Kasey's podcast is
Unicorn Teachers Podcast.
I love it. And I'm going to get interviewed on your podcast sometime in September, right?
Yeah, really soon, hopefully. Yeah.
So cool. And then the third one is you have a website.
Yeah, so my website is kaseyteaches.weebly.com.
Awesome. Yeah. That's so cool. Later on, not on the video, I'll ask you about setting up a website. That's super, super cool. So that's awesome. Okay. So Kasey, I want to ask you, what's your teaching experience before you taught online? Were you a teacher? What companies have you taught with? And then what companies do you teach with now? That's this first question.
Good questions. You might need to remind me of some of those. So I first started, before I started teaching online, I had a little bit of experience. I mean, I went to school for early childhood education. Yeah. Sorry. Well, it's a mouthful. And so I had changed my major so many times, and then I ended up with that. And I was like, yeah, that sounds pretty cool. So then I did it. And then afterwards, like, I didn't know what I wanted to do with it, because I know just like all the standards, just with everything, they were like standardizing the tests were just, it was, I don't know, not really my jam. So I was like, I don't know if I wanted to like teach, be an B&M teacher, you know, I just don't think that's really what I want to do. And so it was like, I didn't do anything with it for a while. I mean, I did a little substitute teaching here and there, and that was it. And then I got to go to Italy and Hawaii. I was an au pair in Italy, and I got to help a family. At the time they had two boys who were 4 and 7 at the time. And
what exactly is an au pair? What's that?
Yeah, good question. So an au pair, it's like a nanny, but you're helping them to learn language. So I was helping them to learn English as I was playing with them, because they're Italian, and they had taken some English classes, but not like a ton. And they wanted just that to be, you know, part of their like at home kind of routine and stuff.
That's the best way to learn the language. My children, I asked my mother-in-law if on Saturdays, if she could specifically work with them, because we see her on Saturdays, if she could specifically work with them on Spanish, because our family's bilingual, but it's better for them to just speak one language with a specific person. So that's what you did. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It was an au pair. I didn't even know. Just kidding.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. And then I did like some babysitting in Hawaii. My sister, her friend, had a child who, you know, he just needed help because he was at work a lot and he needed help with babysitting. And so yeah, I got to do that. And so, you know, even though I wasn't like teaching it like a school, I was still working with kids in another sense. And so, yeah, so I did that. And then I got started with VIP Kid. It was in February 2018. And and so I had a friend in acting. She had done like some gigs with me. We did elfing. We were Christmas elves.
Aww.
Yeah, so fun. So we were at an acting gig, and she got to talk to me because she's like, well, I know that you had like a teaching degree, and, you know, have you heard about VIP Kid, blah, 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 you know, how a lot of people get started when they know someone that is in it. And so that was that. So I got into looking into it, and I was like, yeah, this one's pretty cool. And I had, in one of the times I was in Italy, I got certified with my TEFL. So I could like teach anywhere. And so yeah, so my family had been like, what are you going to do? Are you going to teach? Are you not going to teach because you went to school for teaching? So what's the deal? And so I was like, yeah, I better just like try it out and see what it's about. So so yeah, I started, and then now I'm with VIP Kid, Go Kid, Cambly, Palfish, Outschool, and Native a little bit. Not really Native, but I mean, I'm technically a teacher with them, but yeah. So a lot of companies.
So yeah, what all do you actually teach with, like, on a weekly basis for the most part?
Yeah, good question. So I teach mostly with VIP Kid and also with Outschool. Those are my two main companies, and where I teach with them pretty much every day. I have classes with them, or almost every day. I try. So yeah, those are my favorites.
I love it. I love it. Those are my two main ones too. Yeah.
Yeah, they're really good. They're fun.
But you're doing the smart thing, which is have some backup companies. I've been talking about that on my channel lately. Have a backup plan for if something happens with that one job, if you get too many teacher no-shows or a country passes a law or something, have something already set up, especially a job that has 0 minimum hours required, like some of those listed.
Yeah.
You could just open slots. You don't have to spend a couple weeks going through the application process or whatever, right?
Right. Exactly.
Oh,
yeah.
Smart lady. Okay. So now I want to ask you, when did you start on Outschool?
So I started, I believe it was in June where I started in Outschool. Yeah. I was in Nancy Taylor's course, Beyond Teaching. At the time it was Beyond Teaching ESL Online. Now it's Beyond Teaching Online. And very cool course. Nancy's amazing. So yeah, shout out to Nancy. But yeah, but it was so cool getting in that course, and just the community is incredible. That's how I met Kasey Oswald and a lot of the other community that have now joined in your amazing Facebook group. Yeah. So a lot of those awesome teachers, they're, really cool. So we got to get into this really nice community where we would do live Zoom calls, and yeah, just really cool. And so through that, a lot of us learned about Outschool because most of us had never really heard about it. And then so yeah, just with some of the Zoom calls, we were just talking about, different companies and things. And most of us were VIP Kid teachers. And so it was like, okay, well, how can we maybe spread out and, I don't know, just join other companies and see what else is out there. And so Outschool popped up, and yeah, so then a lot of us just kind of like went straight to Outschool and joined like right away. And so it was fun.
Yeah, there's been a big, for anybody that's not in on what's going on in the ESL world or the online teaching community, there's been a big influx of VIP Kid teachers to Outschool all at once. I think it's because some of the top YouTube VIP Kid teachers decided to make the switch to Outschool or add Outschool in. And the thing is, a lot of us VIP Kid teachers have been looking for another online job that doesn't take up the same hours as VIP Kid, because it seems like a lot of the China-based companies want those same early morning hours or maybe evening on the weekends. But what about the daytime? We're here, we're stuck in quarantine. What can we do to earn some more dollars during the day, right? But we want to keep our VIP Kid job, but we'd like to make some more money during the day. And so Outschool's been super awesome. So now I want to ask you, what classes have you taught so far?
Good question. And I just want to say, I will answer that, but I love your ears. Your Minnie Mouse ears. I was like looking at those as you're talking. I'm listening. I like, but I wanted to say that. I love those.
I like them so much that I'm no longer embarrassed to wear them on YouTube videos. So yeah.
No, you shouldn't be. They're adorable. Yeah. So with Outschool, with some of the classes I've taught, really fun. I mean, I don't know, maybe it's hurting me a little bit now because they're not like math or, multiplication, reading, not things like that, but they're more like just fun classes. So I do like, would you rather? I have kind of a more normal version and then the fantasy version. So where there's like things like Harry Potter, or would you rather teleport or be able to transform into anything? I don't know, just like fun random questions. And yeah, that's really fun. I get a lot of students for that, and actually have like over 200 likes for each of those ones. Like people are like really interested in those. So that's cool. And then I also do a Steve Irwin class, which is like one of my favorites. Yeah. Yeah, it's nice. I get to talk about just who he was and about his passion for helping to save animals, wildlife conservation. And then I actually have a wildlife warrior class that I just started that's like more about his family and what they're doing now. Yeah. And yeah, so with the Australia Zoo, they have like so many different projects that they're doing. That's kind of why I did my little Australia bit.
Yes,
in my video.
Yeah, you love the family and what they're doing for the wildlife in Australia. I love that. That's awesome.
Thank you.
I want to share with you an idea, and I want you to share ideas as well about Outschool. So I'm going to throw an idea out there. Okay, so I want to reference something you quickly said, but there may be people I'm sure that watch this later that don't quite understand what you meant by it. So in the summertime, parents were looking for something different than what they're looking for now on the Outschool platform, as far as not like every parent, but a large number of them. So a lot of parents were just looking for, okay, I can't send my kid to summer camp. What fun thing can they do online, right? So they can do these fun classes online. But now the school started, it's kind of like, well, they have to do school online. So we're seeing a little bit of a drop in students, right? But for me, I'm doing homeschool. So my kids aren't doing online school, but I will supplement with some Outschool. But for me, I'll just tell my perspective. The fun classes, they're fun. But what I really like is the fun classes with a little bit of education thrown in, so I can write it down in the planner as education. So I'll share with you an idea. Okay, so for example, my kids took these fun tea party classes, American Girl tea party classes with Teacher Kelly. They took a couple of them during the summer, but it's kind of like, oh, it's the school year now, we have to do education, So I asked Teacher Kelly, I said, could we learn some reading and phonics during our tea party? So she's still doing the tea party. I'm not saying you have to do this. This video is sharing ideas, right? Brainstorming. So she decided to add that in, teaching some phonics and some sight words while having the tea party. So that's really awesome, because I love that my kids are socializing with other kids. My kids love that they're playing a game or whatever, but I especially feel like it's worth the money because they're learning something, and I'm teaching. I don't have to teach them that. I'm writing. They have a different teacher. It gets better when it's not their mom forcing them to do work. It's them having fun with a teacher online. So I get to write that down. Oh, they did phonics class, right? Even though it was a play date, but it was also learning, And then also somebody else, there's a group on Facebook that Kelly started called Outschool Free and Discounted Classes. So that's another option if you're starting off or interested in starting off as an Outschool teacher and you just want to start to get some classes under your belt, but you're afraid of maybe low stars or whatever. If you offer free classes to people, that means they sign up and pay for it, and then you just click the reimburse button and it goes back in their account or whatever. If you do that, then I'm not necessarily talking to Kasey because she already has some students and stuff, but I'm saying for our viewers, for Outschool teachers, if you do that and offer it free or discounted to a few people, then they can start to give you 5 stars and you can get some experience. And then when you know what you're doing, have higher cost classes or whatever. But so anyway, in that group, somebody advertised for a Pokemon sight words bingo class. So each kid got a different bingo card to print off, and the teacher went over the sight words. So most of the sight words were on most cards, but it's easy to make on Word document or whatever, just move the words around. But each word had like a Pokemon. So the kids got a chance to talk about what Pokemon they like. And like at the end of class, each kid got a chance to win a bingo game, you know, because there's 6 kids in the class. So they got to practice the sight words a lot. So they think they're playing a bingo game about Pokemon. So they're so excited, you know, to talk about Pokemon, but really they're learning something at the same time. So I down in my planners. Anyway, so
yeah, that's a really good idea. I love that.
Those are my current favorite classes to sign up for, is something where they're doing something fun, but they're also learning something. So like phonics and sight words, and because my goal right now for my first, well, I don't know if I should call her first grader or a kindergartner. She's the age to be in kindergarten, but I'm teaching her like kindergarten and first grade things because it's homeschool and she's a smarty pants. So my thing is I want to teach her to read, to write, to do first grade math, which includes like telling time on an analog clock and counting money and stuff like that. So so that if at the end of the year I feel like she's ready for second grade, then we'll do second grade. But she's the age to do first grade next year if she wants to. Anyway, she's about to turn 6. But so yeah, so it's exciting having Outschool because I'm new to homeschooling. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. I don't get to take my kids anywhere fun anymore. So it's nice to do fun Outschool classes online, right? Yeah. And it's this crazy time where like the whole world is in the same boat where we all are staying home figuring this out, right?
Right.
So I wanted to ask you on Outschool, what are some tips or tricks or things that you have learned while being new to this platform?
Yeah, very good question. So I think it's important because, you know, we're all in different areas, different parts. So maybe a certain time might not work for you. It works for other people, like that. A lot of people wouldn't be willing to join your class at that time. So because I know they have like a general, you know, schedule with different times that are supposed to be higher times, like peak times. So, I mean, I think it's good to maybe, if you can, at least with your scheduling, to try to open up more slots and then just see which ones you get more of. I think because and you could write it down or write in your planner, like, oh, this day I had like 5 students and this day I had 1 student or 0 students and this time. So, I mean, I think that could really help new teachers out because especially just starting out, if you're, you know, just starting out with anything, it's like a learning curve. So you have to learn what works best for you personally. And so, I don't know, I think that's really helpful to try that at least while you're starting and see what would work better. And, you know, then maybe you can try it each week. Like, oh, I had 5 students that time. Maybe I'll do that same time every time, even if it's like a different class. You can kind of switch out the classes a little bit in different days and just see like which ones seem to get a lot more of an audience.
So now I want to ask you, what times have been successful for you?
Yeah. So, first I was doing, and I'm in Colorado, it's Mountain Standard Time, or so, you know, I was doing like 9 and 10 and 11, like in the morning. And then, you know, I would get quite a few students. That was like, it was still summertime and, you know, everyone's just at home. So I would get a lot and then now I do a little bit of those. And then sometimes I'll switch it up and I'll do some in the afternoon. Like I don't know, sometimes I'll do like noon and 1 and 2, or I haven't really tried evening hours, because I don't know, I'm like a grandma and I go to sleep early since VIP kid. I have to be up so early. So, I mean, eventually I might want to try that and do like some night classes and just see, because I know a lot of teachers are successful, and it's nice because you get students from around the world. So it's not just the USA, but you could get I've had students in the Middle East and some students in South Korea and students in like France and I don't know, a lot in European countries and stuff. So yeah, it's really cool. And so I found that it's really helpful if you want students that are from other countries. I've noticed like on the weekends I'll open up my time at like 5 or 6 in the morning. And then I'll get students from other parts of the world, which is really cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
I never thought about teaching out of school so early. Wow, very cool.
Yeah, it is nice. It's just, I mean, it's nice, and I love my Chinese kids with VIP Kid. I love them; they're so great. But it's just fun to get like other students from other parts of the world too, because I don't know, I just think other cultures, are so interesting. So yeah.
So, Kasey, how much do you charge for your classes? Is it different for different classes?
For a lot of them, it's like for the Would You Rather, it's like $9 and it's for 45 minutes. And then for the Steve Irwin Wildlife Warriors, those are like 10. A lot of them are 10. I'm starting, I have Stephanie Oakenberry. I think it's Oakenberry. She's helped me with creating some classes, like lessons. And so she's helping me now with, it's going to be like a unit or multi-day on, mythology, not like just Greek mythology, but there's like Greek, Norse, there's Inuit mythology,
Wow.
there's Brazilian mythology. I don't know, just so many different types of mythology. So I'm really, really excited about this one. And I think that one it's a multi-day. It'll probably equal out to like 10 per class. That's going to be like a 50-minute class or something. And I know a lot of teachers might go towards like 12 or more, but I noticed when I had it higher, I didn't have really many students. And so, it's, whatever, you could play with it and just see what works better for you. But I noticed if I did, I didn't ever have it at 15. I had one class at 12, and then I would get 0 or maybe 1 student in those classes. So I had to lower it.
One thing I was surprised by is that if you want to experiment, setting one class at exactly $20, surprisingly, it's I'll tell you why. It's because your first class that you sign up for or get a friend to sign up for, you're given a $20 credit, and you can use it for any one class. But you can't, if you have a $10 class, you only get to use $10 of your credit and the rest goes to waste. So some parents are looking to use their free $20 credit on a class, so they're looking for a $20 class. So I was surprised because I opened up a $20 class for a friend of mine who specifically said, hey, open up a $20 class and then I will use my credit. And so I did that, and I was surprised that another person booked it. And then another time somebody asked me that, and another person booked it as well. So I was surprised because I set my classes to, well, I've tried like $15. Nobody really booked. So then I tried, okay, I'm just going to do $5 classes until I get a student base. So I'm doing $5 classes, and I'm getting like 3 students per class, 4 students per class. And I love it. So I'm like, I'll take it. I'm new here. I'll take $5 per student. It's money, So,
Right.
But I just wanted to throw that tip out there that surprisingly $20 classes book because people are looking to use their free $20 credit. I wanted to say hello to Marianne and Cindy Comer in the chat box. Hello, friend.
Hey. Hi, Marianne and Cindy.
If anyone else is watching and wants to say hello, you can as well. So, yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much all that I wanted to ask you. Is there anything else that you would like to mention before we finish?
Just that if you're new and if you're watching this and if you're wondering about teaching with Outschool, then teach about what you're interested in, and that's basically what Outschool is all about anyways. But I don't know, if you like superheroes or mythology or whatever you're really interested, whatever you like, you don't have to have a degree in it necessarily. With some of it, I found that with my teaching degrees teaching degree and substitute teaching, I found that that's helped me because some of them might get kicked back and say, you don't have that in your profile. You have to put something that you've had work with that or something in your profile. So substitute teaching has really helped me because I've gotten to work with kids from K to 12 and, all over the place. And so that's like another little idea is if you've done that or if you've worked with just a lot of different kids of different ages and stuff, then definitely put that in your profile. So because it might get kicked back and be like, no, you don't have that. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that in there. Maybe.
Very cool. I forgot to mention that my kids took a class with Kasey.
Yeah, that was so fun.
They took a pets and toys show and tell, and they basically showed her every toy. They just had a pile of toys, just showing her every pet toy they own. I'm like, okay, give the other kids a chance to talk.
No, that was fun. It was so nice having them, and I think that was great. That it was so fun that they had like all their toys. They were so excited to just share everything. So that was really cool.
I thought of another question. Do you use okay, so for your classes, do you give them like a handout that they should print out, like a paper or a document, or do you use like PowerPoint slides, or what do you do when you do classes?
Yeah, very good question. So I like to use occasionally there might be a handout like here and there in some classes, but usually I do PowerPoint or a Canva presentation. Yeah, so with that, it's nice. You could and it's like PowerPoint, so you just have it up as a presentation, and like you're still there, like your little screens are there, and they get to see. And I did one. I do them for like all of my classes, pretty much. But I did one recently for like superheroes versus, and you're like comparing superheroes and Greek gods and goddesses. And yeah, that's really fun because there are some similarities between so many of them. And even like Wonder Woman and Athena, like Wonder Woman has a lot of different attributes and characteristics from a lot of the goddesses. Like each goddess gave her like one of the characteristics that she has, which is really
Wonder Woman. Yeah, she was kind of goddess related.
Yeah, she is. So I don't know. So I used that, and it was really cool. My student was fun. He was like saying that he had created his own comics, and he had like 25 characters that he created and everything. Oh, yay!
I have Wonder Woman as part of a superhero award.
That's awesome. So cute. Yeah, but I don't know. It's fun. I think the students really like it. It's nice to have a visual, and you know, if like a student is kind of lagging and talking, you can like change the slide. Be like, all right, yeah, let's go.
Tell me that. Look at this.
Right. Yeah.
Ask you before you go, tell me about Canva. Is it a free app for your computer or a website, or how does? I mean, I know Canva from my cell phone. I make YouTube thumbnails using Canva, but I didn't know that you can make slides. Do tell.
Yeah, so, and that's a very good question. So with Canva, there's a free version. So with the free version, it's nice. You get a lot of free images, and there's also the pro or paid version, which is, I just ended up going with that because they have like a lot more images available, and then it doesn't have their watermark on those. Some of they have a lot of things for free where there are no watermarks, which is really cool. But yeah, the paid version, you have access to like everything that they have. And I think it's $13 a month. So I mean, it's not too bad, it's like doable. And it's nice. Yeah, you can do so many things. You can do YouTube thumbnails. You can do like Instagram posts or Instagram stories. You can do, I don't know if you're like working.
You can do like slides, or you can just like show an image.
So they have presentation. So if you go to like create presentation, and then they have like their different templates, so then you can choose one, or you can like change the background image. And like with the YouTube thumbnails, you can, it's pretty similar to that. You just add whatever you want. You can type in words and stuff. And then, let's see, I don't know if I could show you guys.
I was going to say, I'm pulling up the Canva app. So if I scroll down, it'll say like presentations. That's one of the options.
Yeah. If you go into create, or let's see, is it the same on the phone? I got the phone app too. Let's see. So
But you put the app on your computer for when you're, do you teach on a computer or an iPad?
I teach on my computer, and then I use I use Minicam, but with Outschool it doesn't really matter, because you just do the share screen, and then with that, like, it shows the little window, so then you pop up the one that has the presentation on it, and then you're able to do it that way. So yeah, that works perfectly. I do that for all my classes, even my Would You Rather classes. Let's see, I'll pop it up on here. So there we go. That's decision making. I don't create the presentations on my phone. But yeah, so I have that, and I have the questions. And it's just really nice because, I mean, sometimes I get younger students too, and it just helps them to have something more to go off of. I have my Steve Irwin one. Good day, mate. And yeah, so it's so fun. I have all kinds of things.
I'm a huge fan of your Australian accent. I love it so much.
Oh, I need to work on it. I know the Brit girls say that they need to work on their accents for like a good 6 months to kind of master it.
I was thinking for a really funny video, and I haven't talked to the Brit girls yet, but this is just an idea. I would love to do a collab, me, you, and the Brit girls, and we could do a game with doing accents, and it would be so hilarious because so we should totally. I'm sure they'll be up for it. We'll just have to figure out that we can do that. But soon, some sort of accent game with the Brit girls and Kasey and Evelyn.
That would be amazing. Yeah, I love that.
Thank you so much. I'm going to be totally honest. I started with Outschool like 8 months ago. I was hired. Okay. Had a backup plan, but I was too nervous to start. So that was like before the pandemic, before everybody, I got hired with them before everybody ran to Outschool. So when everybody started doing Outschool, I decided to sign my kids up. Cindy Palmer said that would be hilarious. And hello to Candy in the chat box as well. Sorry. I decided to sign my kids up for my friends' classes so that I could do it as research to gain confidence to teach a class, right? Because I'm like, I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know what to do. So, but I speak Spanish. I could totally teach Spanish classes, but it took a while to gain confidence. I signed my kids up for a bunch of classes, took a bunch of classes so that I could just like observe how other people were teaching Outschool, right? So that's kind of why I'm doing these interviews with other Outschool teachers. Number one, to gain information and ideas from friends and also hear their stories, but also share it, because I also talk to a lot of people who say, I'd love to work for Outschool, but I don't know how to make my own curriculum. I'd love to work for Outschool, but I have no ideas of what to teach, so that's why I want to, they feel the same way as I did. Like, it's hard to get started, but it's like your first VIP kid class. You're so nervous and then it goes great. And then it's fine from there, so you just grow in knowledge and confidence in teaching, right? So I'm going to be honest. I have the desire to have PowerPoints to show. I have the desire to make a handout to document, to connect, but I am still learning all of the tech stuff. So love it. So here, VIP Kid teacher Kasey, that's Kasey Oswald, Kasie. She's going to be interviewing me on her channel in 9 minutes. So we're going to finish up this video. And thank you so much for letting me interview you. It's been lovely. And
of course.
All right.
Yeah, thank you so much. All right. Bye. Thank you. Bye.